Our policies requires that first and foremost, we recruit guards from the reserve force. Reserve force is the national service. Then we get in touch with them. We give them our standards requirements. Like a guard must be Form 4, but must have that prior training with the national force. And then from there, now we select now according to the other standards like the height, the education, because they also train some who are below that O level, the ordinary level of education. Then once we've gotten them, then we train them. We take them for a basic training because you'll understand they have this background on the national sort of training, the national defense training, but now we are bringing them now to commercial aspect. Then we take them through 2 weeks training. Then we bring in that aspect now on commercial security, including now other aspects like human rights, respect to human rights, the principles and the compliance to various laws in Tanzania in our security operations. Yes, and once we have trained them, as it has been said earlier, during the training we partner with some stakeholders like the police force. We have special officers who are joining us in our training sessions, and then they assess the results after the training, and then those who qualifies have passed all the test, then they are the one whom we recruit. But in the process now, before they are now fully employed, then we have another process of conducting the background checks and vetting. And we do this in 2 ways. We have our internal process where we do it using our internal vetting officers. We verify their certificates, we verify where they stay, we get in touch with the local government officers, and then also guarantors, we verify the guarantors. You see, and all the certificates that have been attached during the application to see whether they are the genuine certificates. Then we go also for the previous employers. If someone has been employed somewhere else, also we do that to verify whether this person was working there and how perhaps this person left there. As I've said, also we get in touch with the places where we recruit them also, and this now is the reserve force. Yes, and we call it here the regional security team, where it involves also the DC's office sometimes, or the National Service Security officers and the others. So that is for internal. But now there is now again a forensic check, which is being done in liaison with the Ministry of Home Affairs, and that is under police. They do the forensic vetting for people to check whether they have been having any criminal records in the past. And then once we have gotten now also feedback, because we normally write the name of the person and the details, and then we send them with the letter, and then they take time to go scrutinizing the records of each individual, one after the other. And once they've been cleared, they will give us feedback in writing that we have done this and this, and this person is clear. You can move on. He doesn't have, or she doesn't have any criminal records. And then once all that process, internal and external, is completed, is when now we say, now we can now officially employ you. Our stakeholders, as I've said, they are the regional security team, which includes a number of teams there, from the RC's office, come down to the National Reserve team. And we are required to recruit specifically from those areas. If we got a contract for Geita Gold Mine, the requirement is that we must recruit people from that community. And then recruiting from that community requires now us to partner with these stakeholders of which I've mentioned, in terms of understanding now who are the people, the training that have been taken through. As I've said, the National Reserve Force will definitely fall under the national security team there, the regional security team. So when we involve them, then definitely we have an opportunity now to have them verifying their certificates, verifying the people in the community, because they understand. They partner also with the local leaders, the local government leaders. So we will announce, we'll put an announcement that we need to recruit this kind of the number of people for our security operations, and these are the qualifications. And then we give an opportunity for them now to send their applications. And then once we've received the applications, we'll involve the security team in the region. And then we will go now through the vetting process, which I've said, going through each individual application to see if they've met the requirements. And one thing I want also to mention, one of the important human rights starts also, the human right, I would say, starts from the recruitment processes as well. You see, it's a right of each and every individual to be given an opportunity, much as they've met the required qualifications. So we do that in collaboration with these stakeholders in the region. From the government, we have a tripartite approach. The government, we have the union and also some other stakeholders in the process to make sure that whoever has been selected is on merit, and whoever has been left out is because has not met some qualifications. The key requirement is, and that is our policy, we recruit from the same community where the assignment is. I have my HR team. I have my HR team in each of the regions. And all my HR have been trained on our policies and standards requirement. But whenever we have these assignments, I always travel also to join them in the process. But not only during recruitment. Once we have recruited, once we have deployed, we have a follow-up training and a follow-up meeting, not from the HR per se, but from all the head of department. The head of operation will have a schedule to always visit the site, have a meeting with our guards on the ground, just give them a hearing to whatever they've been going through. We'll also meet the customer, you should meet also other stakeholders, and so do I as a human resources manager, and also the managing director. So all the management team, we have a schedule to visit those areas during recruitment, after recruitment, and going forward. One of the challenges was, transport. You see, coming from their home to work on site. And then after a discussion with the customer, then it was realized that it is very important to have this sort of a coordinated transport which will aid our guards from wherever they are to be on site and on time as well. So there is a transport which is provided. But apart from that, also there was an aspect of meals as they work, because they are supposed to be deployed sometimes in areas where they don't have an opportunity to go somewhere and look for a meal, yet because of the nature of the area. So it was seen from the word go, and then all our guards are being provided with meal as they come to work, so that they are okay, and they have an opportunity to work while they have eaten. Yes. Other challenges are sometimes small challenges. For instance, we might pay salary, let's say, for instance, today, and as you know, we have our guards almost everywhere, so we pay through their bank account, and then There could be an issue with the bank, and our guards, they know for sure because we never delay their salaries. They will get their salaries exactly on the time that we committed to. So could be there is some bank challenges. It happened once or twice. We have paid, but within their banking system, they couldn't release the money into their account on time. So definitely, a guard will never forget that. So when I visited them the other time, they raised, at this particular time, this bank, I don't know if it's good to mention the name of the bank, but they said this bank, for us who are receiving pay through this bank, there was a little bit of a delay. It was delayed for 1 day. And then I had to explain to them, okay, we know sometimes there are these challenges, and we have been in touch with the bank officers in terms of salaries. And then we went back, we addressed that aspect with the bank, and it was resolved that please make sure our guards, they receive their pay immediately when we pay them, because they depend on that, on their daily lives. We have this approach of having meeting on daily basis on site. So before even something has been raised with us, they will definitely raise with the immediate leaders there on site. Yes, because we have this we call Timam Parade. So it's mandatory that they must meet them before they're being deployed and after they've been deployed on daily basis. So for us, we receive very little because a lot has been shared with their leaders on the ground, and they have the capacity to resolve each and everything. So I would say very little challenges that have been addressed, brought to our attention, but the approach that we've been having, the open door policy and engaging people at any given time, has given us a platform to understand whenever there are issues to be resolved on time with the guards. As usual, as the word itself, the minimum wage. Yes, it is the minimum for sure. That is provided, and in most cases, that is not enough. It's not enough considering so many factors in the living standards and the challenges of here and there. So it's not enough to sustain our guard to the end of the month. So what we normally do, we usually top up. We have provided some allowances on top of what is being provided as the minimum wage. So we give them allowances on top of that minimum wage so that they can have something which will help them to survive and earn their living and achieve whatever they aspire to achieve in their life as they work. So we have ensured that they pay, the reward for what they do is handsome enough to make them appreciate the work and dedicate themselves for the work and do whatever it takes to ensure that the customers are receiving the best services from us through our guards. One of our key policy is that as we recruit a guard, then this guard after 2, after 3, after 5, let's say 10 years, the guard should not remain in the same position. Yes, and we have put in place some career progression plans, which is in our policies, and it has been comprehensively implemented. Whenever there are opportunities which would imagine within that time, let's say is from the guard's position and there is a supervisor position which is required to be filled, then we announce within our team, these are the qualifications, and then they are given a platform, those who aspire, given a platform to put the applications. And then the panel will go through the applications, and then they will select the best out of the best. And then that person is promoted now to that position of a supervisor. And then it goes from there upwards. Like I'll tell you, the security manager in Geita Gold Mine was formerly a guard. And he has been promoted from being a guard all the levels to the security manager today in Geita Gold Mine, and he's doing a great job. But again, the security manager in North Mara Gold Mine, which is a Barrick Gold Mine, he was also a guard. He was recruited as a guard, and within a few years, he was promoted, and today is the security manager running our operations, our security operations in North Mara Gold Mine. I have got so many examples which I cannot mention, but I just pick those few. Yes. It has been a very great input, yes, in our security operations. And as you know, our security operations in each and everything that involves human rights. And as I've mentioned earlier, it starts with the management team. Yes, it starts with the management team understanding those human rights. You see, putting a commitment to respect to those human rights in all our operations and creating policies. Yes, and including those human rights policies or principles in our training manuals, so that as we say now, we train our guards on the human rights requirement, the principles. Then we, from where we sit, we understand those principles, and we are committed and we're ready to make sure that they are being implemented. So ICOCA has been a great partner, and the support we have gotten, it has completely shaped the management and our team in the operations. Today, you face any guard, you tell him to tell you, ask him if he understands what is the human right. I can assure you the answers or the feedback you'll get, you'll be surprised, you see, because it starts from, meeting first, understanding yourself, positioning yourself as a security officer, you see, facing a customer, you see, addressing your issues as a security officer, dealing with whoever you have been assigned to deal with. Even a suspect of a criminal, the way you handle them, you see, during interrogation, searching, all those processes, there are requirements step by step to make sure that you are making a meaningful step to addressing a security issue within the requirement of the principles. So ICOCA has provided a very great support, and the trainings that we have gotten from ICOCA have been calculated in our policies and our training, and I can assure you it is not only implemented by the security guys on the ground, but it starts from the management downwards to the security guards. Our security training has got a lot of aspects, and as I've said, you'll realize we have trained so many security guards, and these security guards, they live in the community. Now, we have trained them to just exercise what they've been trained on, to observe the human rights principles and all these aspects of security operations at work. But, anything that you make it daily in your life, anything that you exercise on daily basis, it becomes part. It creates a DNA within yourself. So we have observed there is a very huge changes and a very great impact in the community from where they come from, in terms also of the security challenges from there, because they will go back after work, they will go back at home. These are ambassadors now of the security, you see, in their families, in the community, and also sometimes they provide a very good input to support the local government and the people in the security, in the community, in terms of making a safe community and environment wherever they live. So would say these training that I've been receiving from the company on human rights and all aspects of security operations have made a very huge impact in the communities where they are coming from.